And let's get trick-or-treating, my dudes. Nope. No! Ah! Peter is in the pumpkin. She was looking down at me. Don't go up the stairs. So not only were they sleeping together, she recently found out that she was pregnant. That dirty man, you can't wash the filth of these messages off. After his wife and kids were found dead. The scandal!
Hi, can I order tea and 2 sugars, please?
Hello guys, and welcome back to Tea and 2 Sugars. I'm Tatty, your host, who, if you are listening to the pod, you need to come over to YouTube and have a little look because I present to you our brand new set. I've wanted to do this for such a long time, and I feel like we're just sat in my cozy little living room together telling girly, gossipy little stories. I am absolutely buzzing with how everything looks. It's just so cute and cozy, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I hope you guys like it. It's honestly taken some time. I've put in a shift getting this all right. So I love it. I hope you guys too. And it's just the next step in taking this podcast to the stratosphere that I know it can go to. Like I've said so many times, this podcast is my absolute pride and joy, and I'm always going to be looking ways to grow it and make it better for you and more enjoyable. So I'm hoping that this is just a little bit more fun for you guys to look at. Anyway, this week, happy Halloween, my dudes. We are only a few days out from Halloween, which is my favourite time of year. So it only felt right that, my favourite time of year is when we launch a brand new set. I was going to decorate for you all, but I thought, the first time we are in this beautiful backdrop is when it's got to be how it's going to be. Does that make sense? So welcome to our first Halloween episode. Today's title, if you can't tell, is Trick or Cheaters. This one is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be taking a little sip out of this fantastic cup, which you'll notice is not full of Pepsi Max or apple and blackcurrant juice today. It is full of little pieces of paper, here's some ASMR for you, which say either trick or treat. And I'm treating you guys this week to a little trick or treat session. So basically I'm going to pick one out, and if it says trick, we are going to get like a Halloween, spooky, scary, not that scary though, like stick around. It's not going to be a don't listen before you go to bed type vibe. Just like a Halloween themed story, whether it's like a cute little ghost story or like a folklore story or something along those lines. Or if it's a treat, we are going to get a juicy Halloween themed story. I asked you guys to send some in over on my stories, so thank you so much for doing that. So let's get on with the episode. You guys know that I always start with my boiling point and my 2 sugars. My first sugar has to be this gorgeous studio. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone at the Added Extra, which is my podcast studio, for putting up with me whilst we've been setting this all up. It has been a journey, let me tell you that for free. But I just love everyone here so much. They're so supportive and are always willing to try anything I throw at them. Like when I said that I wanted to put curtains up, they were like, and how are you going to do that? Because you're not drilling anything into the walls. So here we are. They're just so willing to support me and help grow. And I just really, really appreciate everyone at the Added Extra, Paul, Isla, and anyone else that is involved. And yeah, I actually can't stop looking at it. It's so cute. My second sugar. Let's have a little think. Oh, has anyone watched the Victoria Beckham documentary on Netflix? I watched it the other day and I was just so inspired by that woman. I feel like she's quite misunderstood, and I really enjoy watching female business owners, female entrepreneurs do documentaries because, listen, it's great to be inspired by all genders. However, as a identifying lady, I love watching women documentaries. That's why I love Ladies Who Launch so much, because it's all these female founders speaking about their journey. And I just really, really like it. And then my boiling point this week. Let me have a little think. This is when I write my gratitude list on my notes app, but I don't ever write any boiling points down. Oh, I know. Girls, 'tis the season for a chapped lip. I fear it's begun. Oh, my lips, I haven't got a lip balm on me right now, which is what's making me think about this. My lips are getting cracked and dry. They're getting cracked and dry. It's not the one. Anyway, speaking of it getting cold, I'm going to pop my little throw on now. Let's get super cozy. Let me know where you guys are watching down in the comments. Are you in your bedroom? Do you watch in your car? Let me know. Let's get super cozy comfy in my gorgeous burgundy throw. And let's get trick-or-treating, my dudes. Okay, we are diving into the cup. Let's go this angle so you can see a little bit better. What are we going to pick out first? I'm not going to look. This is the chosen one. First up. Okay, we are starting with a treat. Also, Joe has a new position, guys. Look at him over there. He has his own throne. I hope you can see him all right. I have ordered him a chair. Okay, I've ordered him a little armchair so he can have his own little spot. I want to see, if you can't tell, I'm so gassed. All right, let's get on to our first story of the day. Our first treat of the day is titled, "She Tried to Steal My Boyfriend at My Own Halloween Party." Story time. Okay, let's get into this. Buckle in, huns, because this story has literally everything. Costumes, cocktails, and a whole load of betrayal. The kind of secondhand embarrassment that would make your soul itch. So, Halloween is basically my holiday. It's like people have their feelings for Christmas. I love Halloween. I go all out, buy decorations, themed drinks. I have a fog machine that makes my living room look like a horror movie set. I go the whole works. My annual Halloween party is completely legendary. Everyone looks forward to it. Joe, did our invite get lost in the mail? Why weren't we invited? Next year. This year was supposed to be an extra special one because it is my first one with my boyfriend, who we will call Steve. We've been together for about a year. Things are going great, and I genuinely was so excited to play hostess with him. I had this whole couple's costume thing planned out. I was going to be a witch. He was going to be a vampire. Classic, hot, spooky. We were going to be the perfect Halloween couple. Now, enter Amy. Amy is my best friend since uni. She's very Amy. You know what I mean, girls. She is gorgeous, completely dramatic, the kind of girl who thrives on the chaos but insists that she is so cool. I'm getting the vibe here that Amy's a bit of a pick-me. She's always loved attention. There it is. Not necessarily in a bad way, but always kind of felt like if you were standing next to her, you were the background character to her. I fear I don't like Amy. What do you mean? Like, it's not a competition. We're friends. We're equals. You get me? You get me here? There shouldn't exist, no jealousy should exist within a friendship, in my opinion. If you're looking at a friend and thinking, oh, I love what they're doing, I love like that they're doing so well, or that's great, like, oh, why they've got a great job, they've built a brilliant house, like, it should not be jealousy. It should either be like pride or inspiration, in my opinion, of a friendship. So when I texted her about the party, she was like, oh my God, yes, babe, I can't wait, I'll bring snacks. Cute. But then she followed up with, are you going to do like sexy costumes this year or scary? Because I've got some ideas. That should have been the first red flag. Anyway, the party rolls around. The house is looking absolutely incredible. I look incredible as my sexy little costume, and Steve is looking like a sexy vampire. Everything is on track for the perfect night. And then Amy rocks up. What I'm not liking about this, though, is that Amy knows that this is your time of year, and she is thinking about ways that this can be derailed. What is the reason for this, Amy? And Amy shows up. I really wish I'd bought Joe a little witch's hat or something like that. That'd have been so cute. She walks in dressed as a sexy nurse. She has this red mini dress on, fishnets, 6-inch stripper heels, and this tiny little nurse's hat that is pinned into her hair. The moment she walks in, every single guy's jaw in that room dropped to the floor. And I am standing there holding my cute little pumpkin cocktail like, oh, okay. Here's the thing, right? You can dress sexy, by all means. I just fear we have to judge the vibe. We have to judge the vibe. Like, I'm not turning up to a family Halloween family Halloween party in fish. I fear we have to judge the room. There's a level, right? There's just a level of sexy that you can get away with. And like a sexy nurse, that's a fantasy thing. That's like people, ooh, that's a bedroom activity. I fear sexy nurse. Yeah. Anyway, she gives me this massive hug like nothing is weird at all. I fear that, listen, I fear this is what you're expecting out of this night. This is your Halloween party. You're the hostess with the mostess. You're the one that should be the best Halloween costume. All eyes should be on you. The drama, you are the drama Mick. Whereas Amy's walked in her little stripper heels or big stripper heels and is like stealing your smoke machine, She's like parting the sea like Moses with that smoke. She's like, whapa, whapa. Anyway, I'm like, she goes, you look so cute. You always pull off that witchy thing so well. I could never. Okay, well, you're pulling off that bitchy thing quite well. So maybe next year you should come dressed as like a dog because you're acting like a bitch. Anywho. This is basically Amy's speak for you look so basic and I look better. Yeah, that's the vibe that I am 100% getting here is she is judging. Within 10 minutes, this motherfucker has latched onto my boyfriend, Steve. She's laughing so loud. She's touching his arm when she talks to him, asking him if he needs a check-up. Like, girl, what kind of medical emergency are you diagnosing exactly? Like, what? You can't be doing that shit. She has clearly come to that party wanting Steve's attention. That's what's happening here. She's thought, I'll dress for the male gaze. The male in the gaze is going to be Steve. At first, I tried to play it cool. I mean, I didn't want to be that kind of girlfriend, but it just kept on getting worse. Every time I'd go to refill my drink or talk to someone else or greet someone, she'd somehow teleport next to him. Right, so we're not like being around Steve when you're there. It's like a bit of vampire nurse one-on-one action. What kind of Wattpad situation is that? Fuck it now. When we were taking pictures, she would make sure to wedge herself between us. She's like, sorry, with a little stethoscope. If anyone has the name Stephanie, you should change your username to Stethoscope. I think that's such a good name. She'd wedge herself between us. When I said, all right, it's a couple's photo time, she'd laugh and be like, guess I'm the third wheel tonight. Shut up, Amy. Shut up. There ain't no third wheel. This is a bike, right? We're a bike. You're the town bike. I am on a bike with my boyfriend. We are two wheels at one with each other. This ain't no fucking tricycle, hun. Get out. Get out of the picture. Figuratively and literally. What do you mean? Guess I'm third wheeling. Go find a patient to deal with and diagnose something else with. Because I'm diagnosing you as a twat. Then around 11, I realised that I can't find... Nope. No! Checking out. I'm checking out of this hotel. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to know anymore. Then around 11, I realised I can't find either of them. Little early to be fornicating, is it not? The party's just getting started. We've not even done the monster mash. I'm out here monster mashing while Steve is out here Steve's monster is mashing Amy. Sorry, I had to. Mashing. I'm thinking maybe they're outside having a smoke or something, but after 15 minutes, I start getting that gut feeling. You know the one? I think that Amy is performing a little rectal examination, a little gynecological experiment on Steve. You know that one, and I'm starting to look around even more. Check the kitchen. Empty. The garden. Just my mate dressed as a zombie throwing up in the bushes. At least he's on character. The bathroom. Nothing. Finally, I head upstairs to grab more cups. And I hear voices. Can we not find somewhere a little bit more inconspicuous, guys? Specifically their voices. I follow the sound and stop outside my bedroom door. Guys, in her bed. This is... what? The disrespect is disrespecting, I fear. My heart's pounding. I can hear Amy giggling. That fake flirty giggle that gives you flashbacks to high school. I fucking hate it. My insides have just flipped. Ew. Ew, girls, I just want to imagine, those of you with partners right now, you are on the outside of your own bedroom door. You're hearing your best friend, who's probably shoved her stethoscope up his rectum, down his throat where her tongue is. You hear them laughing, oh, Steve. And then you hear your boyfriend say, oh my God, you are crazy. You want crazy? Is that what you want, Steve? You want a girl to go crazy over you? Because I'm about to barge in here. What are you dressed as? What are you dressed as? What are you dressed as? I can't remember. You're a witch, right? You're a witch. I'm going to go witchy. I'm going to perform some motherfucking spells on you. I'm about to curse your ass. What do you mean you're crazy? And just then I saw red. Yep, as you damn well should. I opened the door and that's when I saw them. They were there. Amy sitting cross-legged on my bed. My bed! Twirling her hair. Steve standing way too close holding his drink, looking like a deer caught in headlights. That's what he should have gone as. Brilliant. That's actually such... Has anyone seen that as a Halloween costume? Like, the boyfriend goes as a deer and the girl has a black top on and then she has two torches like where her titties are and she turns them on and the guy, the boyfriend, stands there like this. A deer caught in headlights. That's what he should have gone as. I didn't scream nor cry. I just smiled and said, oh, good. You found the drinks. They're downstairs. Where the party is. I like it. You could have literally heard a pin drop. Amy jumped up and started stuttering something about how she was just giving him relationship advice. Stop triaging my boyfriend about our relationship. He didn't ask for advice. My advice in this relationship, this friendship, would be to get out of my house, leave, remove yourself from the situation. We are no longer friends. You clearly have ulterior motives with this relationship advice because I know damn well it's not going to be good about me. So she's giving relationship advice in my bedroom at a party that I threw for my friends at my favourite time of year in a nurse's outfit. Sure, Amy. Steve was pale and mumbling. His blood pressure's probably dropped through the floor. He goes, it's not what it looks like. We need to stop with this. I said, you're right. It is actually somehow worse. I told her to leave. I told him to leave too. The audacity of them both looking offended when I said this, absolutely unbelievable. Amy stormed out like she was the victim, muttering how I ruined the vibe. The next morning, she posted a photo, same costume, new guy, captioned, found my boo. Do you know what? I'll give her that. That's a fantastic caption. That, found my boo. I'm going to have to put it in the group chat. I'm going to have to put it in my group chat. The commitment to the delusional is honestly impressive. And as for Steve, he tried to explain himself and said that she was just drunk and nothing happened. I told him if I wanted to date a man who couldn't recognise boundaries, I'd just download Tinder and roll the dice. Did everyone hear that, Joe? Did you get that? That was fantastic. I'll just download Tinder and roll the dice. I'll just take a bet on someone I don't fucking know. Someone I haven't been dating, because they will give me more respect than what you are, you rat man. There's another Halloween costume for you girls. Rat man. So yeah, that's the story on how my Halloween party turned into the worst night of my life. Now, every time October rolls around, I think about that night and just laugh. Because truly, how do you lose your man and your best friend in the same night, but still win by keeping your dignity in your fog machine? Would you have confronted them there and then, Tatty? Would you have gone full-blown petty revenge mode? Because honestly, I still think I was far too calm. Yeah, I think you were way too calm. You could have gone crazy. I'd have thrown the fog machine at her head. I'd have actively got a pumpkin and smashed that motherfucker on her head. I'd have got the guts of a pumpkin, rubbed it all over her face, rubbed it all over her hair in that tiny little nurse's pin thing she's got in her head, right? No. At the end of the day, Amy had always had eyes on your boyfriend. She knew she was going to that party dressed like Nurse Amy with her yiddies out and her arse out. Like, by all means, please do that, girlies, if you want to. But it's all about the motivation behind the actions, right? She's gone to that party knowing that she's going to look hella good, not because she wants to feel good in herself, which is what we should all do, girls. She has gone for male validation. That is obvious in how she's behaving towards Steve. That is obvious in what she's posting on Instagram. Does this other boy on Instagram her boo? Does he have a girlfriend? Should we check in on her? Is she doing well? Is she doing well? It's all about the motivation behind why we're doing this. And it's very clear to me that she had poor motivation, poor judgment. She's just clearly wanting something she can't have. And she wants to prove to herself that she is so much better than you, doing all of this, doing something extra, when meanwhile, at the end of the day, Steve should never have put himself in that position either. Like, going into another room, I don't know that I would ever go in a room with one of my friends' partners with the door closed, let alone their bedroom. Like, a bedroom is a very intimate space. She's walked in there, she's sat on your bed, hoping that he's going to sit next to her so she can pounce, right? We're not going in rooms with other people's partners with the door closed. It's very odd to me. Very odd to me. I'm not dealing with that quite well in my brain at the minute. And if it's not what it looks, Steve, then why are you there? Like, it's so easy to turn down someone that you don't want attention from. Like, shut up, Steve. If any of you go with your partner as Steve and Amy, you simply must send me a Halloween picture. I don't expect anyone to do that. But if you do, I would absolutely make my day. It would make my day. Anyway, let's move on to our next story. Should we see what's in the cup next? All right. Oh, this angle, isn't it? Let's go for this one. Next up, we have a trick. Let's get into it. All right, our first tricky story of today is titled The Spooky House Across the Street. Story time. Right, let's strap in. Hi, Tatty, absolutely love the podcast and can't wait for your Halloween episode. I have this story that has been happening to me recently that would be perfect for you to tell everyone. Hope Joe doesn't get too scared. Joe, lock in, my guy. So I moved into a new place about 6 months ago. It is a really sweet end terrace house. It's on a quiet road with friendly neighbours, which was exactly what I was looking for. Except there is this absolutely weird house across the street. You know that one on the house that just feels completely off? The curtains are always drawn and some of the paint has started to peel on the outside, and there is never anyone that goes in or out of this house. It's always far too quiet. So from day one, I started to notice the strangest stuff. The upstairs lights would flicker at 3 a.m. and it was always bang on 3 a.m. It was clockwork. And sometimes if I looked out the window, I'd swear I could see someone standing there just watching. It was the shadow of someone that wouldn't move. It was as if they were staring back at me. I told myself that I was just being completely dramatic here. Maybe it was just my imagination. Until one night. I came home from work and it was later than usual. And there was a lady standing outside this house. Long grey hair, wearing a nightgown. Barefoot. Just standing there in the rain, staring at the upstairs window. I asked if she was okay and she turned to look at me. But her eyes didn't quite focus. It's like she was looking through me. And then, without a word, she stepped back inside. That night I didn't sleep at all. The next morning, I mentioned it to my neighbour. We'll call her Amy. Amy went completely pale. Like, I'm talking ghost level pale. And said, no one has ever lived in that house for years. I laughed, obviously, and said, I literally saw someone walk back into that house last night. She just shook her head and said, no. That's what the last people said, though. Fuck that. Fuck. House is going up for sale. We're remortgaging the gaff. Ew. So here's where I did a little bit of digging, Tatty. Apparently, the old lady who used to live there died about 10 years ago from a heart attack. She was found by a delivery oh my God, this is awful. She was found by a delivery driver days later. And since then, every few months, someone swears that they see her still looking out of that upstairs window. Fast forward a few weeks. I'm working late one night again. Laptop on the kitchen table. And then I hear a knock. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. I open my front door. There's no one there. I look across the road and the house across from me's front door is wide open. Now, here's where I feel like I messed up. I should have closed my door, locked it, and minded my damn business. Did you go in the house? But no. Apparently, I wanted to die in Act 1, Scene 1 of my own horror film. Because I walked over to the house. You're about to experience the consequences of your own actions, girl. The moment I stepped inside, the air felt completely wrong. It was cold, heavy, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. The hallway smelled of old flowers and dust. I called out, "Hello?" Nothing. The whole place was completely empty. But on the floor by the stairs were wet footprints. The footprints were leading up to the landing. I don't know what possessed me to follow them. I don't really know what possessed them to... I don't know what possessed you to do that either. But I followed them. Every creak of the stairs felt deafening. I reached the top. And that is where the footprints stopped. Right outside the bedroom door. The same door I always saw the light flickering behind. I slowly pushed it open. And that is when the bulb burst on me. I have never screamed louder. The whole house went pitch black and I ran out of there so fast I tripped over the front step and nearly broke my ankle. When I got home, my front door was open, but I know that I locked it. And on my kitchen table were wet footprints. That night, I slept in my car. What? You're sleeping outside? Abby, nope. Up. Oh, nope. Once again, checking out. You slept outside. Did you not think you'd wake up and be and she'd be stood or lying over your windscreen? Why did you sleep outside? She's got to get out the house still, even if she's gone in. Oh, a few days later, I just tried to pretend that this never happened. I'd be sleeping with Amy. Said no one ever. I convinced myself that I must have imagined all of it. Until last week. I woke up at bang on 3 a.m. Because of course I woke up bang on 3 a.m. And that is when I saw it. The lights in the house flickered on, and there, in the window, was the same woman. Grey hair, white gown. But this time, fuck this. Fuck this. Naturally, fuck this. Ew. But this time, she wasn't looking out the window. She was looking down at me. I swear I saw this woman smile. Now I keep my curtains closed every single night, but sometimes when the street's quiet and I can feel the cold air shift through the room, I wonder, is she still watching me? Or is she already across the street at my front door? So what do I do now? Do I move away or do I get exercised? Girl, just fucking move house. Just move house. Ain't no fucking way. I'm really interested into like what this woman's affinity is with your house. Do you think maybe like a family member lived across the road and she's like trying to check it out? Why are her feet wet? Did she have a heart attack in the shower? She got sweaty feet? Is this a sweaty ghost? That's fine. I'm not here to judge. Did you know that your feet have the most sweat glands on the whole of your body? Maybe she's doing a lot of walking. Ooh, okay. Yeah, move house. And next time, maybe try and like chat to her. Should we get a Ouija board in? Tell her to wipe her feet on the way in. Maybe she can like experience a doormat or a towel to get her little tootsies dry. I think she's looking for something. I think that's what's happening here. I'd maybe get like some paranormal investigators involved in this. Or like, do you not own a phone? Can you not like try and video this? Like a Ring doorbell style? Get a Ring doorbell. There we go. Get a Ring doorbell and try and record some of it. That's what I'd do. Right, well, I fear after that we need lightening up a little bit. So I'm going to delve in. Let's hope we get a little treat through. Otherwise, I fear I'm going to lose some of you. Let's have a look. Okay, we're good. We're treating. Let's go. Okay. Okay, our second treat of the day is titled, Am I the arsehole for kicking my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her Halloween costume? Story time. Okay, hi guys, I'll cut to the chase. I'm 19 and I had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21, and a bunch of his friends. This included his girl best friend. We'll call her Amy. My boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, basically the guy wears a shirt that says Peter and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because Peter is in the pumpkin. Pamela Pumpkin. Anyway. I like that. It's like the deer in the headlights one. It's giving couple, it's giving kind of sexy, it's giving we do things in the bed. Anyway. I was pretty excited just because I thought it was really fun and quite a cute costume. Amy texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained that I was doing a couple's costume with my Steve and what I would be wearing, and she replied that she would probably just come as some sexy cat. Easy. Black bodysuit, cute ears, cute eye makeup, little cat eye, Fast forward to the night of the party. Everyone is having so much fun and we're having the best time. Well, that was until Amy walked in. Dressed as a pumpkin. Did you explain the reason why you were dressing as a pumpkin? Did she quite understand that, or is she too thick to get that in her stupid little brain? Like why have you done that? For what reason have you done that? She went over and hugged my boyfriend straight away, and I could swear the whole room went silent. I was pissed off. I asked if I could speak with her privately, and we went into my bedroom. Why are we moving to the bedroom at these Halloween parties, guys? We can have a chat in the kitchen, we don't need to be moving stuff into the bedroom. No. Anyway, I was pissed. Took her to my bedroom to beat her. No, anyway. I asked why she chose that costume, since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I. She said that she didn't think it was a big deal and I thought it would be better as a group costume. Well, it wouldn't be better as a group costume, Amy, because it's a couple's costume. The definition of a couple means two. Just a couple of girls, a couple of guys, just a couple in love, you know? Not quite sure that she's understood that concept there. You dumb fuck. You know? Why has she done that? These girls, don't they scare you? They kind of scare me. Like, I don't know any of these types of girls. Thank God. I told her that I didn't think it was funny at all, and I would prefer that if she went to change. I offered her a witch costume. Hey, is this the same girl from earlier? This little witchy costume. I offered her my witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell at me that I don't get to control what she wears. No, but here's the crazy thing, Amy. You do. And you chose that. So, unfortunately, it's very clear to me that you don't know how to make the correct choices in life. So I'm going to have to do it for you, like a toddler. I'm going to have to make your own life decisions for you, dumb idiot. I told her that I was being disrespected in my relationship, and by insinuating that my boyfriend and her had sex. Amen. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had kind of shifted and the night felt a little bit ruined because of this drama. My boyfriend agrees that she indeed crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. Do we see how easy that was of a move for him to cut her off? Just snip, snip, motherfucker. Off you go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and I should have just let her stay. I guess I'm just wondering, am I the arsehole here? Okay, now there is an update on this one 3 months later. Well, do I have an update for you guys? I meant to post one a few months ago, but I really needed the time to process the events that occurred after this whole ordeal. I'm glad I waited though, because you all get to hear how this one went down. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Amy since she went absolutely bonkers for seemingly no reason. I thought since he immediately took my side and blocked her on everything, that you were wrong. He got caught. He got caught. That's what I'm saying. I think he's been caught and he's done what he thinks he needed to do in the moment to prevent it going any further. Well, it was me who was wrong. It turns out that Amy and my boyfriend have been sleeping together for months, and they were just very good at hiding it until she decided that she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. The mistress got bold. I think she got bold. I found this out when I was at his house and was hanging out in his room. He was showering after a workout and I could hear this. Oh, okay. I could hear this vibrating noise. I thought, where's this going? You know? He had taken his phone and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what this was. I opened the bed oh my God, wow. You want to talk about a scary story, girls? This is scarier than the fucking woman across the street with sweaty feet. That's what we should have titled that story, not the house across the street. It should have been the woman across the street with sweaty feet. So I opened his bedside drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me that something wasn't right. Why would he have the second phone? He's either cheating or dealing. You know? Or he's a content creator that has a work phone and, you know. It didn't take me long to guess his password. It was going to be 1234. Really? It was so easy to guess. My fears were confirmed. There were missed calls from Amy. I looked through all the messages and found the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, This is so much scarier than the woman with the feet. This is scarier than the woman with the feet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Ew. So not only were they sleeping together, she recently found out that she was pregnant. She didn't try and force his hand. I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well. I was completely devastated. After his shower, that dirty man, you can't wash the filth of these messages off. After his shower, he found me grabbing all my stuff and putting them into my bag. He asked why I was leaving, and I told him because... He asked me why I was leaving because, like, bitch, we're finished. I'm out. Bye. I threw his phone on the bed and he looked as if he was going to vomit. He started pleading me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear any of it. He could have all of those other girls. I didn't want him anymore. He followed me out the house, shaking and crying. He even followed me all the way to my car, trying to block my path. I went over the grass and around him and didn't look back, ruining his front lawn at the same time. Men and their grass. We should ruin their grass more often. He sent me this long text about how he never wanted to hurt me, that he wanted me back, and how he was using the work. There it is! It's the work phone. What did I say? He was using his work phone to text all these girls so that I wouldn't find out. That was really helpful, Steve. I couldn't guess that myself. I sent this to his boss and a nice little message about how company property was being misused. And I saw on LinkedIn that he no longer works at that company anymore. Oh, yeah. That's how it's done, ladies. That's how it's done. Just a simple little, hi, Stevie boss. Did you know, I think you'd find this information quite interesting, that one of your employees is actually using work property to perform infidelity. Okay? He is now blocked on everything. I hope him and Amy have a magical life together with their little pumpkin baby. Oh, I also heard through the grapevine that he got one of the other women pregnant too, while he is really just out here spreading his pumpkin seeds. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. And as for me, I'm currently in therapy working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again after this situation. I've been putting myself out there again, and I've cut contact with anyone who knew what was happening behind my back. Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is fuck. You know what? Anyone that knew that was going on is not a friend anyway, so you literally haven't lost any friends. You've just cut the dead weight from your life. I'm really proud that you're pushing past this and you're getting yourself through it all. You're doing everything right in that situation. And I'm really glad that you found out when you did. And, you know, it goes back to that saying, everything happens for a reason. And, you know, Peter Pumpkin Eater has got a little baby pumpkin on the way. I hope Amy's all right, because that's really rough for her. Well, you know, again, if it ain't the consequences of our own actions. Anyway, should we see what we've got next in the cup? Let's see. Into the magical cup we go. Trick or treat. What will it show? Oh, yeah, we got a trick. Let's get spooky. I just got goosebumps from the title of this one. It is called The Babysitter That Wouldn't Stop Calling. Story time. So this all happened when I was 17 and I still get chills thinking about it now. I used to babysit for this super nice family down the road. 2 kids, this gorgeous house, and their mum was one of the nicest people I've ever met. They had essential oils everywhere and their house smelled like vanilla. Anyway, one Saturday night, I think it was, the parents asked if I could babysit whilst they go get a fancy dinner together. It was super easy money and I could get there around 6. The kids were already in their pyjamas and watching a film, and the mum gives me the usual snacks in the pantry, bed by 9, emergency numbers on the fridge. Except this time, as she's leaving, she pauses and goes, "Oh, and if anyone calls the landline, don't answer it." Then she laughs like it's a joke. I laugh too, as if there was something funny about what she said. But there was nothing funny about what she said. Anyway, the night starts normal. Kids go to bed. I'm scrolling on my phone. I'm half watching Netflix. And that is when the house phone rings. And here's the thing. No one ever calls their landline anymore. I ignore it, obviously. But it rings again. And again. And again. Every time I don't answer. It stops after the 3rd ring. Then, 5 minutes later, it rings again. So eventually, I pick it up and... No, we were literally told not to do that. Screaming at the TV in a horror film. Don't do that. Don't pick up the phone. Don't go in there. You had instructions. Anyway, so eventually, I pick it up and go, "Hello?" There's complete silence on the other end. And then... Ew, ew. And then a voice on the other end in a low, raspy tone says, "Don't go up the stairs." Click. I freeze. My heart is doing gymnastics in my chest. I convince myself it's a prank. Maybe one of my friends is just messing with me. But then I realise, because it was such a turnaround, I never told any of my friends that I was here. I hang up, grab my phone and call my parents. They didn't answer. Then, from upstairs, I hear a thud, like someone dropped something heavy in the hallway outside the kids' room. So, I slowly creep upstairs. Every step creaks. And when I reach the landing, I swear I feel someone watching me, but the hallway is completely empty. I check the kids' room. They're both fast asleep. Everything is completely normal until I turn around. The phone on the hallway table is off the hook. It wasn't even plugged in when I got there. I sprint downstairs, grab my bag and start texting my friend to come get me. But before I can hit send, the house phone rings again. Same number flashing on the screen. Unknown caller. I pick up and yell, "If this is a joke, it's not funny." Then the voice says, calm, quiet, and almost as if coming from right behind me, "I told you not to go upstairs." I drop the phone and bolt out the door. I'm shaking, standing barefoot on the driveway when the parents pull up. "Thank God! Where the fuck have you been?" It was like the perfect timing ever. I am crying my eyes out, trying to explain what happened. And then the mum goes completely pale. She looks at her husband and says, "It's happening again." Turns out, and this is where it gets ultimately unhinged, the house used to belong to a man who went missing after his wife and kids were found dead. The scandal in that house. Oh my God. Right. Man's based so off his family and kids here. The police never ever found him, but people still say he calls a landline at night, sometimes to warn and sometimes just to listen to what's going on. They moved out a few months later. The house has been empty ever since, but every Halloween, the neighbours swear they hear the phone ringing from inside, even though there is no phone line anymore. So tell me, would you have gone upstairs? No! I follow instructions. I love that you just like fucked off the kids and were like, "See ya. You deal with this shit all the time. I'm out. Bye-bye." Yeah, I'd have not gone upstairs. I'd have not answered the phone. I mean, it's creepy enough. Would you not just get rid of the landline as the family? Would you not do that? Would you not change the number? I feel there are so many ways around this situation that we're not partaking in. Ew. That's so crazy. I love a scandal. Well, I don't because people died. But that is so true crimey. Ooh! Anyway, let's move on. Let's see what we've got next. Into the cup we go. Whoa. Oh, okay. One has presented itself. It's like a tarot card then. It just flew out. Next up, we are doing another trick. We've got another trick. Okay, I'm going to try and find something a little bit more lighthearted this time. All right, I found another one. It's a little bit less spooky. It's called The Night Someone Shook Our Tent. Story time. So, picture this. Me and my boyfriend, Steve, and our best friends, Amy and Dave, decide to go camping for the weekend. And we mean actual camping, like no cabins, no signal, just trees, marshmallows, and a dodgy map. We'll just figure it out vibes. Spoiler alert, we in fact did not figure it out. We'll drive 2 hours into what might as well have been the middle of buttfuck nowhere. We set up camp. Everything is absolutely fine at first. It's completely perfect. The sun's setting. It's so beautiful there and so calm and quiet. We've got a fire going and Amy is making these s'mores that are probably 80% marshmallows, 20% mess. Then Steve starts telling scary stories. You know, the classic guy with a hook hand. Everyone's laughing. But the woods are so quiet. It always feels like the trees are listening. Around midnight, we decide to crash for the night. We've got 2 tents. Me and Steve in one, Amy and Dave in the other. The fire burned out, everything is pitch black, and I'm half asleep when I hear it, a rustling noise. It starts off soft, but progressively gets louder, and it's on the outside of our tent. At first, I think it's maybe just Dave trying to mess around. So I'm like, haha, very funny, guys. No response. Steve mumbles something that's probably just an animal or a branch. That's when I hear Amy whisper, "What was that?" from the other tent. Nope, not for me, thanks. It goes quiet again for maybe 2 minutes. And then suddenly, and then suddenly something brushes against the fabric of our tent. It was slow and delicate, but deliberate. It was like fingers dragging along the edge. Steve grabs a flashlight, unzips the tent and shines it outside, but nothing is there. That's bold, Steve. God. Ew. Just trees, darkness, and a weird mist that's making everything look haunted. We're all completely freaked out but try and laugh it off, and eventually we fall back to sleep. The next morning we wake up, step outside, and we notice something that makes my stomach drop. Ew. Around both tents in the mud are these perfect bare footprints. Ew, it gets worse. They are small, child-sized footprints, too small to be any of ours, and there are dozens of them circling our tent. Amy swears she heard a laugh in the night as well, but she thought she might have dreamt it. Dave's like, there's no way that this is real, and he refuses to pack up the tents himself. We basically sprint out of there, toss everything in the car, and don't stop until we hit the main road. Later that week, Amy posts one of our photos from the trip on Instagram, and this random local comments, "Don't camp up there ever again." That's where the old summer camp used to be before it burnt down. There's some charred individual walking around up there. We did more digging. Apparently, there used to be cabins up here by the lake. It was a whole thing until a fire in the 80s. No survivors. Now, logically, it was probably just raccoons or a deer or just, mud formations. But I can't stop thinking about those tiny little footprints and the fact that they only went around our tents, never towards the woods. Would you ever go camping again to try and find this little fucker? Or would you just book a nice Airbnb next time? So I'll be staying in a 5-star location with room service and a locked door and big building. These people that go wild camping, you scare me. I fear you're a different breed. Why are you doing that? What do you actually get? See, I love outdoor boys. I just love outdoor boys so much. But do you not get scared? Because there are weird people out there. There are strange fuckers in the woods and strange dead kids. But ugh. I think we're going to end it on the tricks there because these are quite spooky. Let's do a little treat to finish off today's episode. Oh, this one's absolutely barbaric. All right. He proposed to the wrong girl at our Halloween party. Story time. Hey Tatty, I really hope you enjoyed this story. So every year, me and my friendship group take turns in throwing a huge Halloween party. So it moves around to a different house every year. There's always a completely different theme and a different vibe, and we all have to go along with whatever that theme is. So one year we'll do a haunted house, the other one will be a vampire's lair. This year it was my turn to host. It was about to be my pride and joy. Now, this year's party was meant to be extra special because I had this feeling, a sixth sense coming from your boyfriend that something big is about to happen. My boyfriend Steve and I had been together for 5 years. Everyone kept saying he's definitely going to propose soon. And honestly, I completely agreed and I really did feel like it was coming. We'd been through uni together, survived lockdown without killing each other, and I thought, yeah, this is our time. And then like clockwork, a week before the party, I catch Steve whispering with my best friend Amy in the kitchen. I walk in, they go dead silent. At least we're in the kitchen with Amy this time, we're not in the bedroom. And Steve, with the world's worst poker face, goes, nothing, totally just not planning anything at all. Let's be so real, Steve. Obviously, I assume it's proposal related. Amy's my best friend. She'd totally be up for planning something with him. I start imagining it now. Steve gets down on one knee. Amy's filming it. I'm crying. Halloween night rolls around though. I go all out. I'm in a black lace corset. I have loads of fake blood on me. I am trying to look like Morticia Adams. Steve shows up. Steve shows up as well, dressed as Gomez, which nearly made me tear up because, hello, we're adorable. Everything is perfect. Then Amy arrives. Now, I love Amy, or at least I did. But this girl walks in dressed as Marilyn Monroe. White dress, platinum wig, red lips, heels, and a super defined physique. And that's fine. She looked incredible, and I admit that. But then Steve literally nearly dropped his beer. Her Halloween costume was not on theme either. His jaw dropped to the floor. I laughed it off, and everyone laughed it off for this just being a little bit weird. Anyway, the party's in full swing. People are dancing. We're having so many noise complaints about noise control and that there's too much smoke in the garden. And that is when I notice Steve keeps acting really, really weird. He's checking his pockets. He's fidgeting and looking nervous. My heart's racing. Because at that point, I am now sure my Gomez is going to propose to me. And then I hear him clink his glass. Everyone stops talking and looks at him. He stands in the middle of the room, looking at me directly in the eye and says, "Can I have your attention, please?" He starts this whole emotional speech about how he found his true soulmate at this party 5 years ago and how he's never been more sure about anything in his life. As you can imagine, girls, I'm trying not to cry. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is it. Then he gets down on one knee in front of Amy. I thought maybe he tripped or something. I actually laughed out loud like, haha, Steve, you're facing the wrong way, silly. No, this man truly did, in fact, like a moron, look my best friend up and down and say, "Amy, will you marry me?" I thought this was going to be like a case of mixed costume. Like, you're dressed as like a pumpkin, Peter, pumpkin eater, or like, it's like a masquerade ball vibe and he proposes to the wrong person. Oh no, he's just out and proud. The whole room gasps. The music cuts out. Amy literally looks around like she's waiting for someone to jump out and yell, "You been pranked?" Was it Barney Harwood that used to do that? "You been pranked by the prank patrol." I was dead frozen. Steve is grinning like a fucking idiot holding his shining diamond ring. Amy whispers under her breath, "What are you doing?" And you know the worst part of all of this? He doesn't even try and correct himself. He just stays there, kneeling, waiting for an answer. Does Amy know about this? Amy's face is pure horror. She starts saying, "Steve, what? No, that's not." And then he finally looks over to me, and that's when his soul leaves his body. His eyes widen, and you can literally see the realization hit him like a truck. He goes, "Wait, no, oh my God, this isn't, okay, woo!" I thought I was going a different way. I was holding my margarita still. Like, do I throw it at him or do I let him dig his own grave? I let him finish because I'm kind. He starts mumbling something about rehearsing the speech earlier and how he got confused because of our costumes. Excuse me, this makes sense now. I understand now the importance of the costumes. Marilyn and Morticia giving completely different female vibes. So that is when I say, wow, Steve, thanks so much for making this Halloween truly horrifying. I guess the trick really was on me. Then I'm quite proud of this. I poured the sangria all over his head whilst Thriller was playing. Apparently, after I left, he tried to propose again, but to me this time. Amy told me later he literally picked up the ring and said, "Wait, I meant you," in front of everyone. Guess what? Amy texted me later on that morning saying, "So I think I might actually be serious about me now." He might actually be serious about me now. Turns out after I stormed out, they ended up talking for hours and now they're figuring things out. As in, the man who proposed to the wrong woman decided she might be the right one after all. So yeah, I lost my boyfriend and my best friend that night. I'm so confused by this. Like, were they a thing beforehand, or is she just seen this as like a grand gesture? I mean, it's a very grand gesture, just in complete bad taste. How awful. That is quite diabolic. Is that a word? Diabolic? Diabolical? Diabolical? Diabolic. Anyway, whatever the word is, it's fucking ridiculous. I'd love to know more about that. Like, were they seeing each other? I think she knew. Oh, here's what I'm thinking. I think he was showing Amy pictures of the ring in the kitchen, going, "This is what I'm going to get for my girlfriend." And she's going, "Oh my God, that is so beautiful." And he's gauging her reaction. how fucking drunk do you have to be to propose to Marilyn instead of Morticia? What? Get up, Steve. Like, you're going to do this once in your life, all being well. You got to make it right. That would have been so perfect. You're Gomez and Morticia, for God's sake, you both love Halloween. What an odd little man. These Steves, these spooky Steves, they're going to get us girls. They're going to be the death of me. I can see it. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed. Please do let me know what you think about this little situation and this format. Or maybe we can do it as a little annual Halloween party. Next year, we'll dress up and we can have a proper vibe. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you do have a story to send in, there is a link down below in the caption or in the show notes. Make sure to head over to our socials because we are posting all of our spooky content over on there on Tatty, on my personal page, and check out the podcast as well because we're posting daily content there too. I love you so much, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah! Tatty, bye!
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.